we've got all the trunnion in here. Put it back in pieces. That is, I put these pieces in there, set them in, that piece, and then drop the yoke in here with the other pieces already bolted to it and swung it in, and then put in the shafts. Seemed to make it a lot easier than it was taking it out, particularly now that all the parts have been cleaned up and they slide in real nicely. That just made it a little bit easier. I did have a little bit of an issue getting this roll pin in there. For some reason, I had just a heck of a time getting it lined up. And then the other little difficulty that I just finished is right here, there are two wavy thrust washers that fit right in there. And getting those lined up in order to get this pin through there was a little bit of a problem. So what I did is I took, I think it was an inch socket, put it in this side, slid those washers down there, used my finger to kind of get them as close as I possibly could. They were pretty tight in there. I got them there and I was able to slide that pin in and get the pin started. Then I put the key in through here and laid it in there. And we're going to go ahead and press these bearings back into this Arbor assembly here, and took the old bearings that are pretty well seized up. Actually, they're real tight. Took those to bearing supply that we have in town here, and they were able to match these up. What we're going to do, found a socket here that's about the right size, just a touch smaller than that. So we'll get that lined up there, and then put that there, and start a nut on it. And there's a little shoulder in there that this will bottom out on. And I think that's got it. So we'll undo this and go around and do the other side. Okay. All right, we've got these two spacers. One goes on each side of the Arbor pulley. Surgical knife here so I can see what the heck I'm doing. And I'll just grab a little socket to hold that one up there while I'm fishing this through here. Got the key in there. Gotta line up that key weight coming through there. Yep. Okay. Got that there. Keep her here. Nut on there. Yep. Tighten that set screw up good. Use that to hold it to get it another little bit of a turn on there. That's going to work. Now we'll lock this little lock nut. We'll keep that nut from coming loose. There we go. Got our Arbor ready to go. Not sure exactly where we left off because I discovered that my memory card in the camera ran out of room and I didn't notice it, and I put a bunch of things together. But I think where we were is I was putting the motor in, and you can see we've got that in right now, and got an all new cord, wired the switch here. This thing right here is the starter for this motor, and it was just hanging there. So what I did is I took a big heavy duty cable tie and just secured it to the bottom of the motor to kind of keep it from flopping around. Got the motor adjusted, all three new belts are on. Gates belts that are, I think they're V80. Those match the tolerances for a match set, so I got 3 of those from Beadler's Supply. They were awesome. The belts were relatively inexpensive compared to what I was finding them at auto parts stores, so I bought 3 of them. Shipped and everything to me was under $20, so that was a pretty good deal. So if you have any need for belts or pulleys, Highly recommend Beadlers. I think you can find them online, and they were a great service, so I highly recommend that. So, got the table on. Everything's buttoned up here. I haven't got the guide bars on yet because I need to finish the edge here. I'm going to mask it off, and then I'll put some drapes to paint that the same color I've got down here along the edges. The table turned out quite good, actually. This is pretty smooth. I had a couple spots. There's one spot right in here that's probably the worst. I might still work it a little bit, but it's pretty darn good. I think I'm ready to just put some wax on it and be done with it. Now, to do this piece here, I did a little splurge, and I bought this new Milwaukee angle grinder, and it's the 12-volt version. This thing is the shit. It's awesome, and it's a 4-speed, and it's variable speed. So number 1 is 10,000 RPMs, number 2 is 15,000, number 3 is, I think it's right at 20,000, and number 4 is like 24 or 5, something on that order. But it's also variable speed. Right now I've got a little, like a burl pad on it, and it works just great to do this kind of stuff here. So I'm going to go ahead and go around this, get this cleaned up, paint it, let it sit and dry, and then we'll be pretty much done with this. Got all the edges of the table and the wings painted the same color. Got the guide bars on, and the fence is here. I may need to do a little cleanup on this fence. I haven't done a thing with it yet, but that's probably going to be for another day. But it works great. It slides perfectly. And the little adjustment, micro adjuster here works just fine. So here we go from the front. Got all the decals or the plates. I kept all those. One of the last things I need to do on this project is redo the fence and what have you. And what I did is I just took the fence off of this casting and masked it off as good as I can. I didn't want to take it completely apart. So I masked off all the pieces where there didn't need to be any paint, or some of the mechanism that I didn't want to get paint on. Went ahead and put a few coats of, again, dark machine gray, which for the purists out there, I know that's not the correct color, but it's pretty damn close, and it's going to be close enough for me. And so that's what we've used on this whole project. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and put the fence back together. Well, I think this is a wrap, and everything's ready to go. There is one thing that I need to finish, and that's the little pointer down there that goes on the bevel gauge. By golly, I think this turned out okay. Now, we're going to give it that ultimate test with the nickels and see what happens. Got 3 nickels on there. We're going to turn it on and see what happens. There's 3 nickels on there. That one fell. That one back there is still good. And that one over here on the wing is still good. This could be just falling because of some debris on the... There you go. Well, there we go. This is a wrap. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you got any comments, please send them along, and I'll be certain to respond. And if you have any suggestions or what I coulda, woulda, shoulda done, appreciate that too. That's how we learn. All right.